I want to tell you about my real life commercial fishing experience on Lake Superior at Outer Island Reef, November 10th, 1975, the same day that the mighty Edmund Fitzgerald went down. I was then a 25-year-old commercial fisherman. The fish tug I worked on, he was named the Gene Moore B. This fish tug was 47 feet long, weighed 44 tons, all steel, and was an exceptionally large boat by any means. The SS Edmund Fitzgerald, SS means steamship, was an American Great Lakes freighter. The steamer was owned by Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company. The operating company was Columbia Transportation Division of Ogilvie Norton Company of Cleveland, Ohio, and the Fitz's home port was Milwaukee, Wisconsin. But she traversed the Great Lakes Superior many, many times, bringing loads of ore back from Duluth, Minnesota to the lower lakes in Michigan. She was under the command of Captain Ernest M. McSorley when she sunk in a fierce Lake Superior storm off Whitefish Point on November 10th, 1975. Carrying a load of 26,000 tons of taconite ore pellets, the Fitz was headed to the Sault Ste. Marie, near 200 miles from Outer Island Lighthouse, where I was that day. The captain and the entire crew of 29 seamen perished. When launched on June 7th, 1958, the Fitz was the largest ship on North America's Great Lakes, and she remains the largest to lay at the bottom. The Fitzgerald's overall length was 729 feet by 29 feet abeam. That's the width. She traveled along at 16 miles an hour and held a cargo hold capacity of 25,400 tons. Do the math. The Fitz was grossly overloaded by 1,135 tons. And so it was on this cold day at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It was flat calm when we arrived in the fish boat on the west end of Outer Island Lake. The radio forecast for that day was gale force winds coming later that night from the northeast. And we set the nets anyway. There was about 6,000 feet of them because it was dead calm, and we thought, well, okay, we'll give it a whirl. So we moved the Gene Moore B, and she slowed to a barely moving, located 10 fathom of water, which is about 60 feet, and the crew of Morris Patan, Dean Halverson, and myself, we started to set the nets on a rock reef. We finished setting and dropped the outside buoy in about 14 fathom, equal to about 84 feet of water. Little did we expect to lose the nets that day. Having completed our work and contemplating a rough ride possibly home and setting out about 5 o'clock, I decided to go up on the roof to tie the extra net buoys down. We departed for Bayfield. Now the wind was picking up a trifle from the east, and I noticed that the puffs of smoke from the engine exhaust stack, these puffs of exhaust, we call them donuts, were now blowing sideways. And I thought to myself, uh-oh. I came down from the roof, and Mr. Halverson said to me, Nelson, we'll never see these nets again. Mr. Halverson was correct. We started our 2.5-hour journey back to the port of Bayfield. By 6 o'clock that evening, we rounded the Outer Island Lighthouse and were in the open waters of Lake Superior, headed to a site called Anderson's Point on Stockton Island, and that was about the halfway distance back to Bayfield. On our route, the storm really began to hit. Waves now were on our stern, which is the back of the boat, and traveled from flat calm, like I told you, to about 20 feet of height in 1 hour. Riding those waves home was like riding a giant roller coaster. We arrived safely and tied the Gene Moore B to the dock, and it was there we heard that the mighty Fitz went down and met her fate. I bowed my head. I faced the east and said a prayer for the captain and crew.